Hey everybody, welcome to the Faster Passer cooking channel. I got this cool light behind me that's adding this really neat thing to my fingers and stuff. But today I thought I'd teach you a old recipe. I've already got my water on the stove, so I'm going to turn it up and get it boiling, and I'm going to teach you all how to make top ramen. It's one of my favorites as a quick go-to. And while this heats up, while the water heats, I thought I'd tell you a little bit of a story and give you some history of top ramen. This is a ripoff. It's a fake top ramen. The real stuff says top at the beginning of it. It's because it came from the top of a mountain where the ancients used to make their noodles by hand, usually at night. And then they would make these noodles by hand, and then when the day came up, they'd let them dry out in the sun. That was a thing that they used. Anyway, let's take a look at the water here. The stove is on, and it's heating up, and we're waiting for it to boil. So while we wait, anyway, some more history. So the ancients, they make their noodles on the top of this mountain and let the noodles dry out. Ramen came from the study of mythology, where they would Egypt mythology, where they would serve the god Ra, and it also has to do with the way that these noodles are. They were raw at the time, and so they would offer these noodles up to the god on the top of these mountains, and then if they were accepted, then they could eat the noodles. If not, then they would just be burned up in the flame. So that's the history of top ramen. So here we just call them ramen noodle soup. Comes in many flavors. Back then they didn't have, they had chickens, but they didn't have chicken flavoring. But we have chicken and beef and many other flavors that come. Shrimp, I think, is one of them. The college student blues, which is mostly just like salt and noodles. As we open up the package here, the ramen package, you open it up before you put it in the boiling water. If you put it in the water with the package, you'll be eating plastic, which is not healthy, and there's other things inside this package, like a little surprise. Inside this package, there's a surprise of a chicken packet, a flavor of chicken. This is not a ground up chicken, dehydrated and put into a foil packet. It is, really, we don't know what it is. It's some type of powdery substance, a bouillon cube, smashed up and put in foil. It's probably some type of mind control drug to keep you hooked on this 10-cent package of ramen noodles. Do not eat this plain. I mean, you can, I guess, but I would not. Also inside the package is the food portion. It comes like this. Like Justin Timberlake's hair used to look back when he was in his little boy band. Just saying. Our water is beginning to get some bubbles in it. So we'll just wait for that to happen. I don't know what to tell you. I got nothing. This is probably one of the easiest things to cook in the history of man. There's many ways to cook it. You can add other flavorings to it or something. We're just going to do the traditional style today of top ramen. Now, in the cooking of top ramen, sometimes people like to crack an egg into their ramen noodles. I don't particularly love that. It's not my thing. But it gives it a type of fried rice type feel. Oh look, we're boiling. Some variations on top ramen will, after it's completely cooked, they'll drain all of the water out and then fry the noodles in a pan to get them a little bit more crispy. Today, we're just going to do the normal stance. So we're going to take our noodles here and position them into the boiling water. They are hard when you put them in. What will happen over time is they will begin to get soft. Go figure. As the noodles reabsorb the water that were made on the mountaintop, the top of the mountain, and were dehydrated in the sun, they'll begin to reabsorb these water molecules, which will then hydrate them, and so they will begin to loosen up their grip on reality and become loose-flowing things in your boiling pot of water. So while that happens, typically I'll get a fork, or if you're worried about burning yourself from the steam or the hot water, you can use something a little longer than just a fork, like a spatula. That's what we'll use today. So I'm just pushing this around a little bit with my spatula, or wooden spoon to help break it apart. As you can see, it's beginning to break apart here. That's good. That means that the water is doing what water should do, and hydrate into these noodles. If the water wasn't doing what it was supposed to be doing, if you had hard water perhaps, the hard water would not be going into the noodles. It would leave your noodles hard. But we have soft water here in the place where I live, and so the soft water softens the noodles. But if you ever have problems with it, just get soft water. So I continue to stir until my desired consistency of noodle is reached, which is, the noodle is can move on its own. It moves freely. It's no longer holding on to its grip on reality, which was its other friends, other noodle friends. It's separated, and we'll see here, like, this is about as much as I like it. I like my noodles just a hair on the crunchy side. Oversaturated noodles just feel too soggy to me and disgusting. So at the point where my noodles are good to go, what I like to do is then shake the packet, open the packet. Again, I missed the line. You can see the lines up here. I tore behind. It doesn't really matter. And then what we'll do is we'll bring it over to the pan and then just dump. Just like that, right into the water. Okay, so now the ground up chicken is boiling into. Also, I will have you know that I reduced my heat to low. So this is just beginning to simmer in there and soak into the noodles. Last thing I do is I take my trash. That's not the last thing. One of the last things I do, take my trash and I make sure I put it in the proper place, not on the floor or in the refrigerator, but in the trash can. And now that we've done that, our noodles have been cooked. The soup has been added. The last thing to do is pour it into a bowl, which I will be doing. But that is how you cook a wonderful top ramen masterpiece. I wouldn't serve it at a very fancy dinner. I wouldn't serve it at a place where you have to wear a suit and tie, but for a lunchtime meal when you're on the go, this is very quick, very easy. As you can see, we've only been here for 11 minutes and it is fully cooked. So if you like this video and you want more, give me a like, and remember that cooking is easy. You just got to get out and do it. So Faster Pastor is going to eat his lunch now, so you guys enjoy. I hope you try out my recipe, try out making your own top ramen. If you have any variations, put them in the comments below, and I'd love to try some new top ramen recipes as we move into the future. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Faster Pastor out.